Everybody, it is week 28 of Duffs to Darts. I am Ed, taking you on my weekly journey to get from a 20 to a 10 handicap in 10 months to the best of my ability. So, let's jump right in and talk about what happened last week for Duffs to Darts for me, right? So, as far as practice goes, it's the normal, everything, I always talk about every single week, putting practice on the putt out. Did some more lunch bucket stuff where I'm working on playing, catch during my lunch break with a coworker here, my buddy Tom, and then some birdie ball stuff. I was hitting that about 40 yards. We found the distance that works out best. So I found kind of the best spot to put it in the parking lot for me where there's traffic isn't going to be driving through. I'm not going to overhit it where it goes into the business across, right behind us. It's not going to go into their parking lot. It's going to land in a little retention area. So I put my flag up, hit to that. I've got the distance marked. I was hitting 7 iron, so I know 6 iron is probably going to be okay in the same spot. It's right by a light pole, so I've got a landmark to kind of set up the mats every single time. Worked on hitting straight shots and hitting, controlling the fade. I'm having a lot of trouble really trying to hit that draw shot consistently. If I hit it fairly well, but when I miss, it's a dead push right, or it's, it's a hosel rocket and it's a shank. So rather than do that, because we're out of time to really try to build new swings and try to, something different that should be done at the beginning of the season and in the off season, we need to hone in on what it is that I know I can control. At least I can control more consistency, and that's that straight shot and that's that fade shot. So I work on that a lot more. I did that throughout the week. I did that earlier this week before today's check-in. So yesterday was my kid's daycare closed unexpectedly. I had to take a sick day because of it. And so I took the kids out let them ride their bikes, and I brought the birdie balls and the mat out with me, went over to the high school across the street, and I was hitting 6 iron shots with that. I was hitting fades and straight shots. It wasn't really working on the draw, just focusing on the shot I can control. And I was consistently dropping the birdie balls in like a 10 to 15 foot area. And a few that I was even hitting right onto the flag. I had my son and my daughter down there to catch them. Didn't really catch them, but I hit them down there to them where they weren't even having to move and chase them. It was going right to them. If I can hit the birdie balls as consistently, or hit the golf balls, I should say, as consistently as I hit the birdie balls this Sunday, which I'll touch on in a second, I'm going to have my personal best round. I hope so. It's the Golficity Virtual Open. See that segue? Solid move. So, it's the Golficity Virtual Open. It's been going on since July 15th through August 15th. I mentioned it on here before. Make sure you guys check that out. Golficity.com/virtual open, I believe is the website. It's free to enter. It's 18 birdies. We're giving away a bunch of free stuff. But I'm logging my round with my buddy Chris McEwen. He's another writer with Golficity. Josh the cameraman. And then we gave away a round to somebody in the Golficity group. Unfortunately, his work is sending him out of town. He's not going to be back until Monday, so he can't make it. He let me know. I reached out to a top 40 teacher, Kyle Aldernick, who I've mentioned earlier in the year in the Duffs to Darts project. He's busy, so he's not able to join us. I reached out to another person who entered into the giveaway in the Golficity group, Rob, and he's not able to get a sitter, so he couldn't do it. So, Tony, I played with earlier this year. He's in the Golficity group as well. So he's got the spot. We're going on Sunday to Shallot Hills. I played there earlier this year with my mother-in-law and my boss and her husband. And I had lost a few balls out of bounds. Worked on some things since then. I've got a much better striking the ball, much better consistency. So I'm looking forward to kind of tackling the course again with a different mindset. The swing adjustments that I've made should result in a good score. Hopefully it does. So, let's talk about scores, right? So, last Friday, I took off at 1 o'clock. My father-in-law was coming into town. So, my wife said, why don't you take half a day? Why don't you guys go play 9 holes of golf and then go get the kids afterwards? You got it. So, took off half a day. Went to, my home track, Boone Creek. And I shot 9 over. So, That's, going to put me, if I were playing 18 holes, 9 holes, 9 over on the front, 9 over on the back. I'm shooting that mid 80s score. I'm really bringing the handicap down. I want to shoot in the low 80s, but we're trending in the right direction. I had a bad day putting, which for me is rare. I have more days that are good putting than bad. Adjustments to be made. It looked like it would go maybe a ball left or right at the last minute of the hole. I compensated for that. It just stayed straight. Fix to that. When it looks like it's a slight break, go right at the hole, right at the middle, cannonball it, as I like to call it. Just, kind of take the break right out of it. Had I done that, I would have made more putts. First hole is a double dogleg. Laid it right in the middle of the fairway on the first drive. Set up in the middle of the fairway at the turn, at the second dogleg. Just had a nice approach in. I hit the green in regulation. I was putting for birdie, and I 3-putted. The lag putt was within 2 feet. I missed the par putt, which was really disappointing. Ended up getting a bogey there. That happened about 3 or 4 times in the course of the round. So much, in fact, that in reality, I really should have shot probably par or maybe 2 or 3 over, because I hit 67% of the greens in regulation when I played. Yes, I didn't stutter. 67% of the greens in regulation, according to ShotScope, I was on in regulation with a chance to make birdie, and because of 3 putts, I was walking away with pars. That's unacceptable. Had I lagged those putts anywhere near the hole and made the second putt, I should have been making pars, giving myself an opportunity to actually score finally by keeping the ball in play. Hitting greens in regulation, that's the name of the game. I'm peppering the green. The results are going to follow shortly. So with that, I did actually get a 16-foot birdie putt on the second par 3, or one of the par 3s. Maybe there's 3 par 3s. I don't remember. But, I hit the club, hit it right in the middle of the green, which is another thing, guys. I'm aiming to the middle of the green on every single shot. I'm not aiming to the flag, middle of the green, let myself 2-putt to safety. Flag was left side of the hole. So picture it this way. Your flag is on the left side of the hole, aim to the middle of the green. I'd naturally, my natural shot shape is that fade in. If I would have gone at the hole, aimed the left side of the green, and the ball stayed dead straight, about 10 yards behind that is OB. So had I hit it long, straight shot, I would have been out of bounds. I would have been hitting 3 from the tee. Not good. Aim to the middle of the green. Keep yourself out of trouble. Smart play. So I did make that 16-foot birdie putt by playing smart, by keeping the ball in play, not, over swinging. I didn't lose a single ball in that round. I played 9 holes. I was playing with a Bridgestone the first 6 holes. It ended up getting a little bit of a tear or crack in the seam, probably from one of the wedge shots. So I took that ball out of play after I putted out, switched over to another ball, to a Pro V, played that the rest of the round. No lost balls, no penalties. Finding fairways, I hit 43% of fairways in regulation. So it's not that I hit out of bounds. It's just that, the fairway, yay big. I was just on the edge of it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with missing a fairway if I'm just barely missing it. I'm not okay with missing it because I'm out of bounds and I'm taking penalty strokes. It's not okay. Smart play, taking a lot of the power off the driver, letting the club do the work, sacrificing distance for accuracy is giving myself an opportunity to actually score, taking the middle and back number to the green, and clubbing up, basically doing all the smart plays. One of the shots real quick that I lost, shots lost, to my score. Readjust. My wife just gave me a call while I was recording this. As you can tell, the background's a little bit different. I'm recording on my lunch break today to kind of save some time. Been busy doing a lot of stuff, so recording on my lunch break today instead of at home as soon as I get home from work. So, love you, babe. Back on track. So, I was saying, on a short par 4, it's gettable, and I hit a little bit off the fairway, and the approach shot was 90 yards into the front of the green. Pin was in the middle, so let's say it was 100. I grabbed my gap wedge, which I typically hit about 85, 90 yards, and that's a full swing that I hit that. And the wind was kind of blowing into me a little bit. What I should have done is I should have taken a pitching wedge. And I learned from this in the round, and I did this later on, which yielded good results. But I hit the gap wedge because I was aiming to the front of the green, letting it roll forward. I tend to hit a high ball, so for me, that means you're not going to get a lot of forward spin. It's going to hit the ground, it's going to stop. So I hit it short of the green, missed it completely, and then my chip shot was terrible. Terrible chip shot. I ended up leaving myself like 25, 30 feet to putt. I don't know the hole right in front of me, but I'll pull the clip up here, or the screenshot of it. But I didn't give myself an opportunity at all in there to score. I ended up losing 2 to 3 shots on that hole simply because of bad course management, bad play. Later on in the round, there's a really short par 4 where you can drive it with a 3-wood. I didn't do that. There's a marsh in front. I hit 3-wood, like an 85, 75% 3 hybrid, and laid up. And then I took the pitching wedge instead of the gap wedge, half swing, which is a lot easier to control. You're going to have a more controlled swing that way. And I hit to the middle of the green, pitched back towards the front of the hole, hit, backed up a little bit, and gave myself a 2-putt for a par. So smart play. Last thing for Duffs to Darts this past week. Last week was July 25th. If you guys don't know me very well, you just kind of follow this Duffs to Darts. I do this thing every year in December called 25 Days of Sweater. I wear 25 different Christmas sweaters over the course of December. Last year I did it for charity. July 25th, Christmas in July. It was a work party. What better day than that to bring out a Christmas sweater? So I put on the Golfing Santa Christmas sweater, and I went the entire day wearing it. There was mini golf. Played some mini golf, played some games, had some good times with some pretty awesome coworkers, so it was a good day. That is it this week for Duffs to Darts. It is week 28. Next week is going to be the July recap. Kind of changing this a little bit. Instead of doing every 4 weeks, calling it the month recap, I'm going to actually do it the rest of the year for the month. So next week is going to be the July recap. Little caveat, my round on Sunday for the Golficity Virtual Open is technically in August, but that's because of scheduling. I didn't get it in July. I'm going to count that for the July goals. We'll talk about that next week. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share with your friends. I'm a fun guy, kind of. I grow on you like a fungus. Fun guy, get it? Dad joke. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep grinding.